Welcome to lesson 2 of our loans unit. We've already talked about where you would possibly need a loan. A lot of common places are for a car loan, a home loan, student loans. And we've talked about the difference between buying and renting, whether it's talking about a home or a car. And now we're going to get into some more details about how to figure out how much is appropriate to borrow for a home. So that's the goal of today's lesson, is to estimate the amount that you're able to borrow for a home loan. So the general rule to estimate how much you're going to borrow is that it's going to be 2 to 3 times your annual salary, depending on how much debt you have. So if you have a lot of debt, whether a car loan, student loan, credit card debt, etc., you want to stick to closer to 2 times your annual salary. If you have very little or no debt at all, then you can probably afford to borrow closer to 3 times your annual salary. So let's look at a couple examples of how we calculate this. So in example 1, Edward earns $385 per week. His wife Marta earns $500 per week. Together they have 2 car loans, 2 school loans, and a loan for a boat. What amount of money can they estimate being able to afford for a home? So step 1 is to find their annual income. Okay, so Edward earns $385 a week, and Marta earns $500 per week, which gives us a total of $885 per week combined. Now it does ask for annual income, which is per year, so I want to take their weekly income, and multiply it by 52, since there's 52 weeks in a year, to figure out what their total combined annual income is. So when we punch that in the calculator, 885 times 52, that gives them $46,020 per year. So this is our annual income number. Now, when we looked in the example, since they had quite a bit of debt between the two of them, 2 car loans, 2 school loans, and a loan for a boat, we want to stick to closer 2 times this annual amount, since they owe a lot of money already. So we're going to do $46,020 times 2, which gives us $92,040. So this is a good estimation of what they can borrow, what they'll be able to afford for a home loan, 2 times their annual salary. Okay, if we look at example 2, Stephanie and Mark have a combined income of $4,300 per month. They have no outstanding loans or debts. What amount of money can they estimate being able to afford for a home? Okay, so step 1, find their annual income. Now I already know their combined monthly income is $4,300. So I want to take that combined monthly income, and to figure out what that's going to give them in a year, I'm going to multiply it by 12, because there's 12 months in a year. So when I punch that in the calculator, I get $51,600 per year between the two of them. So that's their annual income number. So now to estimate how much they can afford to borrow, since they have virtually no debt, they can afford to borrow a little bit more, closer to 3 times their salary. So I'm going to take their annual salary and multiply it by 3. So when we crank that through the calculator, we find that they should be able to afford to borrow $154,800. Okay, so again, your process is finding the annual income, and then depending on the level of debt they have, multiplying by 2 or 3. So you have 2 questions to try on your own for your exit slip. Make sure you submit that, and let me know if you have any questions.